Afternoon, everybody. I've actually had a pretty damn good day. Um, yeah, we at my job we do open enrollment for insurance and stuff, and um, unfortunately, my nefarious ex works for the same company I do. So as I'm getting all of my stuff done, him and his entourage of drivers from up where he's at come waddling on in, and he's right behind them. And I was like, oh, good lord, can I avoid this fucker? Is there a way? So anyway, as I'm leaving, head held high, I walk out the door and I just happen to notice that he's not looking at me. He's looking straight at the floor. Yeah. Yeah. Head down, motherfucker. Head down. Anywho, so in order for me to update my beneficiary stuff, I had to get a hold of my kid. And in order to get a hold of my kid, I had to wake her up, because today's her day off. And her husband is currently doing his residency, which puts me in this really awkward position when I start bashing the shit out of medical institutions. Now, he knows that I am like bold and honest and totally get it, because I detest the way that hospitals take advantage of new practitioners and their residencies. They like, what was my kid telling me? She's like, yeah, he only gets about $50,000 a year to be in the residency position, which they're training them, in the hospital environment. They've got to do ER duties. They have to do over 24-hour shifts. Not yet, but it's coming. And he's doing anywhere from 14 to 15-hour days, and he's only bringing in about $50,000 a year. So my heart goes out to a lot of doctors and practitioners who are enduring the education and or the residency requirements within a civilian general population environment, because it's, basic definition of the word, it's fucking abusive, right? He's basically making about $4 an hour. They are charging them like $500 a month for medical insurance. Now, my insurance costs me, with my medical, it's like medical care, dental care, vision care, long-term disability, short-term disability, emergency insurance, like something should happen to me and I become disabled and long-term disability. I have that also on top of it, critical care or something like that. Something should happen to me where I am going to be prolonged, like in a disabled or unable to work status. I have that insurance. And I also have the standard insurance through the company. They have a standard life insurance for our occupation on top of an additional one you can purchase, and I have that one also. So I had to call my daughter because we were renewing it, and our old HR didn't do it right. So I had to have her social. And so I was like, I need your social. We're updating all this stuff because they're trying to get our employee records straight. They didn't have our he couldn't even find the files. I think when he took over the position, he was like, where is all this shit? He had to pull it off, and create a physical file. And then they're trying to get all the physical files put into digitized format, so they have a file on each individual on a hard drive. So that way, when new files or new documentation or forms or anything comes into play, they can just get the, employee to sign off or do whatever, take record, scan it, and put it in. Yep, the personnel file. Anywho, so yeah, this poor guy got his ass handed to him when he first took over because they had fired our HR on the spot. And it was, because I was supposed to be getting 10% of my fucking pay taken out going into my 401k. It never got submitted. He's like, wow. I said, yeah, now I have to do 20% this year. I wanted 10% last year. And none of it came out. He was like, wow. I said, yeah, every week I want 20% of it. He's like, can you afford that? I said, I will make it happen. He's like, fair enough. So I don't really, he's like, well, our bonuses are going to, our bonuses are going to be here at the end of the month. And I was like, I don't count my chickens on that. He's like, really? I was like, I just want to make sure that if my vacation is going to get cashed out. And if it's not, then I'm going on vacation. I'm going to get my time that I earned. He's like, fair enough. I was like, so if you're going to give me a check for my time, my, vacay, I'm good. I'll take a vacation next year, but I'll probably take 2 weeks. So, anyway, I got off the phone with my daughter, and she was talking to me about all of her stuff, and because I had to get her social, but I found it. I had to come home and dig through files to get it, but so it's been a good chat. I don't bug her. She's busy with her job and everything, and she's a lot like me, so I don't take offense if I don't hear from her every week, and she doesn't take offense if I'm not calling her every week, and so when we do talk, we talk for like 2 hours. We tell stories and, catch each other up on what we got going on. And, she's like, I'm so glad, I can talk to you about this kind of stuff because, some people, they just, I don't know, it just turns them off or, whatever. So, when I have things that are like uncomfortable subject matter, I can always bring it to you, and you don't judge. She goes, and that is the biggest thing that I appreciate. So, yeah, we have uncomfortable topics that goes on. Some of the funniest stuff is, it's too personal to kind of put on here, but it just, I have this little like, God, I love my kid. I fucking love her. She is just the best kid ever. So, I was telling her about the dumb comment on my Facebook, and she was like, yeah, that is pretty fucking rude. She did that on purpose. She knew it would hurt you. I said, well, it doesn't hurt me. I said, I have you, and I have Graham, and I have my work people. I don't need her in my life. I said, all she ever does is she contacts me and she wants to do all this over-the-top, extravagant shit for Mom for Mother's Day. And I'm not... How about, you just come and visit with her. That's what she wants. Bring a dress, go to church with her. Cook for her. Do little things for her. Call regular. Be available. Call her back. You see, yeah, my sister, she's, like, I had called her, I needed her for one day, and she never called me back. Forgot my birthday one year. Literally. I was like, fuck you. You know? And, of course, everybody tries to, I was like, yeah, she forgot my fucking birthday, Ma. She was like, well, she's had a lot going on. I said, don't make excuses for her. You know that's sketchy. Don't even. And my mom was just, you're right. I said, so stop. She goes, that is pretty shallow. And yeah, it is fucking shallow. Yeah. So, yeah, she puts herself on the pedestal, basically. So, anyway. So, about my friend. Let me talk about my friend for a little bit. My little friend, first, she had contacted me on Facebook, and we've been friends on Facebook for a couple of years. And I started to be vocal about my shitty-ass, fucked up, experience with Cluster B Milkshake. And she contacted me via Messenger saying, I really need to talk to you. Can I call you? Whatever. And can I have your number? Can I call you? I hate doing this texty thing, whatever. I really would rather just talk. And it was right after, I had the fallout with mine. And so I shoot her my phone number, and she calls me. I'm at work, and I got her on Bluetooth, and I'm pouring a pudding, and I'm gabbing to her while I'm working. And she, her story was like, I was like, oh, fuck's sake. Basically, this guy put her in the hospital and fucked her up so bad that no makeup could cover it. It was that bad. And it has been a nonstop fucking battle getting this man out of her life. Now, all of the videos that you see on YouTube that talk about narcissistic abuse, and anybody who is a victim of narcissistic abuse, the strategies are, and how to deal with something like this. And the best method of approach is to go no contact. The courts wouldn't even allow her to be in a no contact other than the courts. He's got a hearing or trial or something like that, and that's the only time they had to fucking communicate, right? Or be up there. And of course, he's from St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, so he has that strong Jamaican dialect, right? Or I don't know what they call it, but anyway, it's thick because he's Rastafari, right? So she that's a struggle because she can understand him, and the generic population, unless you're around somebody with that dialect all the time, you can't understand it. Now, she has that skill. I have that skill. If I'm around somebody enough, I can get their lingo, understand them. Because I've heard it enough. It's, in there. But anyway, so her situation is so royally fucked. She owns a house that is on the historical building list. It's probably a Victorian. And she owns her own business. And the first time he was detained for not even long enough, she had processed a order of protection and a restraining order. And when he went in for the arraignment type of thing, the judge and his attorney, who's working pro bono for this dirtbag, basically conned the judge, and the judge is like, well, he has nowhere to go. This girl is the victim, and it's her house. This man has absolutely no ownerships of that house whatsoever. And the court forced her to take this man back into her dwelling that she owns. New York State. There's a county up there. This is how fucking shady and sketch they are. Their legal system is criminal in itself. So there's oh god, there's something she had mentioned to me, and I had gotten wind of it when I went in to update my insurance today, and I think, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get back to that. Anywho, so she can't keep him out of her house. I'm like sitting there thinking, I hope you have a security system, a hardwired one, where, you know, like hidden cameras and shit. You know, fine. Anyway, she tells me these different things, like she's sleeping and he's standing above her, where she was actually, there was one time where they said that he wasn't supposed to be there, and he was like recording videos of her while she was sleeping. He was there. He had broke into her house. That didn't stick. So she's had 18 situations. 18 different situations in which the legal system has failed her as a victim of domestic violence and abuse. And let this fucker go. 18 times. She had to call somebody and get help out of New York City to come up and file lawsuit against the city, the county, and the fucking state in regard to the legal system in which she has experienced. These 18 times has been since May. This past May. She had been fighting also 9 months of this. She goes, oh no, I fought 9 months of him, you know, trying to keep a restraining order, and they just kept letting him out. So when she finally gets it to stick, something to get to stick, she gets a new judge, and the judge is like, oh hell no. And puts out the warrant for him, right? And then they can't find him. She's like, how the fuck can you not find him? We're in upstate New York, where the ethnic population is like 2%. If that. And he's 6'3" with dreadlocks down to his fucking knees. How can you not find him? He sticks out like a sore thumb. How can you not find him? Her exact verbiage is totally different. It was funny as hell, and I can't think of what she said. And I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Remember that. And I forgot it. Thank you, menopause. Anywho, so she's a delightful individual. I absolutely adore her. And her story is fucking wild. What this poor girl has gone through. She had messaged me. She goes, I need to talk to you. Man, this is absolutely insane. I finally got him in jail, and we got a trial date and for a jury and everything. And I feel like I'm the one on trial. I can't keep this fucker out of my house because the courts won't let me. And so I was like, sell the house. I can't. I said, sell it and demo it. Sell it to somebody and have them demo it. That way there's no squatters' rights involved. Because that's what she was actually dealing with. And that law, on top of other shit. So his attorney, who actually, if anything should happen to her, that motherfucker should be arrested right alongside this dumb fuck he's representing. Basically threw the squatters' rights law into play and basically got the restraining order nullified because he didn't have anywhere to go. Well, he should have thought of that before he started beating up on her. The state has criminalized the victim and victimized the criminal. And it's abhorrent. Absolutely abhorrent. She told her kids, she was like, if anything happens to me, he did it. I don't know what else. Yeah, and the state allowed it. So this attorney that she gets, who files lawsuits against the entire state, county, and city in which all of this shit, this jurisdiction, all of this crazy shit has happened, right? When she had called him and talked to him about it, it basically, she's like, this guy's foaming at the mouth. He is mad. The issue with domestic violence in this country has gone by the wayside in such faction that it's like the women have no leg to stand on, especially in her case, it's physical. I mean, it's physical and it's psychological, because here she says to him, when your daughter's of dating age, and should they ever encounter somebody who treats them as bad as you treat me, how would you like it? And he was like, are you wishing harm on my kids? She's like, so you do know what you're doing. Like drop. So it's deliberate. It's not psychological. He knows what he's doing. He's playing fuck-ass fuckery with this girl's life. Malignant fucking narcissist. Oh yeah, he memorized her credit card number and bailed himself out with it. I said, you cancel the card and rebuttal the charges? Yeah, I got that settled. Mm-hmm. Yeah. True to form. Malignant narcissistic behavior. They are psychologically abusive. They are emotionally abusive. They are physically abusive. Now, mine started to escalate. Like my experience, my guy started to escalate to the physical form. The psychological and emotional was very subtle. So he's very covert. But he's one of those vulnerables. He's the victim. So he makes you feel sorry for him. So you stick around. And mostly I felt sorry for his kid. So his kid really didn't manipulate me. His kid's just a good kid, and I stuck around to save the kid. But when the kid got returned to the mom, I really found no purpose for being there anymore. Basically, I was heartbroken at the fact that it was like, I got no reason to fucking be here no more. I'm in love with an asshole, and the only reason I was here was to save the kid. Well, I saved the kid, and now it was like totally anticlimactic. Because I got victimized, I got blamed. So it was something I had said the other, God, what was it? It was one of the takes, I think I deleted it. It was, I truly believe that the man did not want anything to do with the parenthood. I just think he wanted to win the battle originally, and he did, to piss off the mom, just to get, you know, be a fucking jerk to her. And he didn't want to lose the court case he was going to. And lose the kid via the courts. But he did, because he got arrested, because we both got arrested. But got it expunged. But here's the kicker here, in this state. We both had to sit 12 hours in fucking jail, because they couldn't determine who was at fault. Right? So we were both in there. No biggie. So while we were on our 14 or 15 day no contact order, I got us attorneys. And my basic explanation to the attorneys was, yeah, we need to wipe this. And they're like, you don't want to fight it? I was like, if I fight it, all he's going to do is 12 months. Just enough to fuck his whole life up. And what kind of mental disposition do you think he's going to have when he gets out? He's like, fair enough. So I said, who's your cohort? And I called him. And I was like, I need you to do representation, and I need you to collaborate with the other one and wipe this shit. And he's like, if he chooses to use me as an attorney, it's, client privilege. And I was like, no, I have too much against him. He ain't gonna fight it. And here's my reasoning. He's like, so why do you want to hire me? I was like, I need you to wipe it because if I save him, I save myself. And if anybody doesn't understand what that means as long as I get him off the hook, I'm not going to have to worry about a reprisal when his ass gets out of jail. Because I could have fried him. The video evidence that I had with the ring system that he had in his house, it was my system that the court ordered that he get something for security for that kid because he had to leave the kid alone for X number of hours every night because he worked a night shift. They needed cameras in there. So I got the shit. So it wasn't like, recording someone without their permission. Oh yeah, I had awesome footage of his idiocracy. Yeah, he might have done 2 years with what I had. Anywho, that's expunged. But if him and I had gotten back together and the cops were called again with both of us being involved, no witnesses to the fact of who was at fault, we both would have gone to jail. Now, if someone had been around when he decided he was going to pull his shit and witnessed him pulling his shit, he would have gone to jail. That expungement wouldn't have fucking mattered. They would have dug that up out of the pits of hell. Said, nope. Not expunged anymore. We're resurrecting this motherfucker. You're done. There's no tolerance here in Tennessee for domestic. None. I don't know what kind of Mickey Mouse fucking courts they have up in New York, but everybody is in bed with each other there. The cop even said to her, yeah, I've been divorced twice. We all know women are fucking crazy. So he's already biased against her. He doesn't fucking care that this guy has provoked her to the point of reacting. And I told her, I said, you need to not react. That is your biggest, and we're all emotional. We get it. And hence the reason why I drank so much. So I just eventually became fucking drunk numb. So, anyway, yeah, he's finally in jail. Finally. 18 fucking different charges. 18 fucking times. She's like, oh yeah, they're going to pick him up and in a half hour he's going to be out. Sure enough. She got that attorney out of New York City to come and fight her battles for her. And finally, shit is hitting the fan. Something's happening. Oh, he is like suing them for millions of dollars. Every time. If they bonded him out, they would be paying her $1 million for every day he walks the fucking streets. Because this attorney is straight up fucking livid. And the guy that has been making this poor girl's life miserable for the last year and a half and the legal system and the courts all gonna fry. That's how ugly it's gotten. That's how fucked up and deranged that legal system is in New York. She was going to be like, whatever that fucking show is, Criminal Minds or whatever. Yeah, I sat there listening to her. It's like, oh my God, it's a wonder you're not one of those fucking drama stories. Incredible. It's fucking incredible that this legal system has done this to her. And if anybody else has ever had that kind of fucking treatment, God, my heart goes out to you. I think the only thing that saved me was because I was upfront and honest with my employer, knowing that the guy worked with me, you know, same company. And I basically outright, we, him, and I, and never, ever, 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 from day 4th, will ever be on the same job at night. Ever. Same job, same plant, nothing. If it's nighttime, no. Because I don't fucking trust his intention. Yeah, I'm checking my time because it's going to cut off here in a fucking second because it's got this 30-minute limit thingy. Stupid phone. Anyway, so before it runs out, get your legal on. If you're dealing with this kind of abuse, hit the books. Hit the books, start watching videos, get your legal on. Especially if you live in New York. If your state's corrupt, better start studying law. You're going to fucking need it.